Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back again to my channel. It is your girl, Nurse Faith. How are we all doing today? Hope you guys are fine. Hope you guys are good. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about how you can take care of a child that has high fever without giving PCN or ibuprofen. So before we dive right into today's video, if this is your first time of coming across my channel, please kindly subscribe to my channel, give this video a thumbs up, share to your friends and family, so they also can also benefit from what we are teaching on this channel. So without wasting too much ado, let us dive right into the day in today's video, today's teaching. So today's teaching, I want to talk to we parents. Muna, come closer. Parents, come closer. If you know you have a child, come close. Even if you don't have a child now, still come close. You can have a neighbor, you can know somebody, you can have a sister that this can be helpful to. If a child have a high temperature, it is natural and it is normal for we parents, especially mothers, to become so worried. You know, we start getting agitated, we start getting worried. The temperature is much, the temperature is this, the temperature is that. You know, it is very, very normal. When I had my first issue, hmm, when I had my first child, no, that was my first experience. So I was so scared. Every little thing, I've given him injection. Every little thing, I've given him injection. My boss told me then, Faith, be careful. The way you are injecting this boy, be careful because of his kidney. Be careful. Ogami, do you see? Look at now. Look at the kind of temperature this boy is running. And do you know the funniest part? This boy keeps running temperature almost every two weeks. Every two weeks. Reason is because I didn't give his body that chance to fight the illness. I'm not giving his body the chance to build his immune. I'm not giving his body that chance to work on itself. I'm just helping the body. Whenever I see little temperature, I'll quickly look for paracetamol and give. If I don't give paracetamol, I'll give the injection, or I'll just look for something. I'll give something immediately to just calm me because I was so scared. And you know, all our mothers, they've already told us that when the temperature of a child is high, you can do this, you can do that, even medically, not just our parents now. Even medically, when the temperature of a child is too high, there is tendency of that child convulsing. Do you get? There's a tendency of that child convulsing. But do you know that convulsion can also happen to a child that does not have temperature at all? A child might not have temperature at all and that child will convulse. It is because there's an underlying infection that was not treated and will make the child to convulse even without high temperature. So most of the time, high temperature does not really mean that the child is going to convulse. I'm trying to break this down. I'm trying to explain this so that we can know that when the child is running temperature, you don't need to panic that the child is going to convulse. Because in most cases, in some cases, the child will not even convulse. You can see a child that is just playing, that has normal temperature, and you just that the child will start convulsing, will just fall and they start convulsing. It is because there is an underlying infection, or maybe there's something wrong with the child's brain. Maybe the child has meningitis or something. Do you get? So when your child have a high temperature, please give that child some space. Give that child breathing space, please. Do not rush to give that child ibuprofen or paracetamol to calm the temperature down. You are killing that child's immune system. You are making his immune system to be too low to fight any infection or any sickness that comes into his body. You make that his body to be so dependent on that paracetamol or on that ibuprofen, on whatever thing that you are giving to that child. That child's body will become addicted or will become so dependent on those drugs. So once the body starts having temperature, it will not come down until you give that child paracetamol or ibuprofen or whatever to calm down the temperature. But if you allow that child's body to fight that infection, if you allow that child, you can just leave that child, watch the child. Not immediately you see that the child has temperature, you start giving ibuprofen, or just let that child be. Observe the child for like 2 hours. If the temperature does not drop by itself for 2 hours, if it does not drop, if you have a thermometer at home, you can check the temperature. If the temperature is around 37.5 or 38, it is still, you don't still need to panic at that point in time. You don't need to panic. What you should just do is dip it sponge. Dip it sponge that child. Open your windows. Do not wear that child any clothes. Dip it sponge means that get a napkin, a look and get a lukewarm water, not cold water, please. A lukewarm water, not hot, not cold, but lukewarm. Get a napkin, soak that hanky into that lukewarm water, squeeze out some water from the hanky, then dip it, sponge that child, use it to clean the child's body. Keep on doing this, keep on doing this, keep on doing this. Before you know it, that temperature will come down. But if you dey sponge that child and you have opened your windows, everywhere there's the house or the room that that child is well ventilated, and yet the temperature is still very much high, then you can give paracetamol or you can give ibuprofen. And if you have given that child ibuprofen for the day one, you watch that child very well. If the baby is changing color, or maybe the baby is looking more weak, or maybe is looking more down, that is when you know that you need to take proper care of that child. Take the child to the hospital or to any health center around your side. Would you get a health practitioner to get the child examined for you? So if it is something that you have to run tests, you will be told. Do you get? And it's something that they'll just give you drugs to use for the child. You just use the drugs for the child, and you will see that once you give that child first dose of that medication, next dose, you see that the child will recover in no time. But if you have already weakened the baby's body with lot of drugs, with lot of medicine, because of you're afraid and you're trying to prevent the child from having temperature, or you don't want him to be sick, or you're trying to prevent one thing or the other for the baby, thereby giving that child lot of drugs, lot of medicines, you will see that even that if that child is critically healed, medication will not work quickly. The medicine will not take effect on time. It will take time before the medication starts working. But if it is a child that has not if it's a child that is not used to taking drugs, you will see that day one, day two of the treatment or the medication you're giving to that child, the child will quickly recover. So we mothers, please, I know it is not easy, but we should try as much as possible to always take it easy with our children. And if you have given the child treatment and the child is still having high temperature, please go and get blood tonic for that child. Go and get blood tonic for that child. You will see that when you give that child blood tonic, that child's temperature is going to come back to normal. The child is going to recover. Yes, the child is going to recover. So thank you all so much for watching. See you all in my next video. Love you all. And mwah.